Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a powerful and emotional twist in the Blue Bloods universe. Because even after all these years, Linda Reagan's death is still shaping Danny's life, so strongly that it may be sabotaging his entire future in Boston Blue. Fans thought Linda's story ended long ago, but the new spin-off reveals that her absence still influences every major choice Danny makes. When Blue Bloods first launched, it stood out by focusing on the Reagans as a true family unit, blending police work with personal struggles. Because nearly the entire cast stayed for 14 seasons, the few losses the show did show became unforgettable, and Linda's shocking helicopter death was one of the most devastating. Even 8 years later, its emotional impact hasn't faded. In fact, Boston Blue is now showing how deeply that tragedy changed Danny forever. After Blue Bloods ended, CBS explored different ways to continue the franchise before ultimately choosing a spin-off centered on Danny. That raised a big question. Why would a lifelong New York detective suddenly move to Boston? The show explains it through Sean's near-death accident, giving Danny a family-driven reason to relocate. But beneath that explanation is a deeper truth. Danny's unresolved trauma over losing Linda made him react instantly. Her death rewired how he sees danger, responsibility, and the people he loves. For years after losing her, Danny buried his grief, avoided dating, and struggled to balance work with fatherhood. Only in the Blue Bloods finale did he finally open the door to a possible romance with Baez. But just as his personal life was starting to heal, Sean's crisis triggered Danny's deepest fears. Instead of risking another loss, he pressured himself to put Sean's safety above everything. His career, his home, and even his growing relationship with Baez. In the Boston Blue premiere, Danny reveals that he was the one who encouraged Sean to join the Boston police force. As someone who spent decades on the front lines, he knows the risks all too well. Losing Linda made him fiercely protective, and now that fear drives many of his decisions. It's understandable, but it may also cost him more than he realizes. That brings us to Baez. After years of slow-burn chemistry on Blue Bloods, fans were excited to see their relationship finally begin. But with Danny now living in Boston, and with no confirmation that Marissa Ramirez will join the spin-off, the future of their romance looks uncertain. Long-distance relationships rarely survive in procedural storytelling, and Boston Blue may quietly end their arc before it even fully starts. If that happens, it all ties back to the grief Danny never resolved. Linda may be gone, but her presence still shapes Danny's choices, relationships, and fears. Boston Blue isn't just a new chapter. It's a story about how loss lingers, how grief reshapes a person, and how the past can still guide someone's future. That's it for this video. Subscribe for more updates.